Welcome to free CPCS theory test. A56 dump truck articulated chassis. Questions and answers. Question 1. A. Give one advantage of a rear-mounted cameras. B. Give two disadvantages of a rear-mounted cameras. The correct answers are A. Allows the operator to see directly behind the machine. B. 1. The camera has a limited view. 2. The view can be blinded by the sunlight. Question 2. What is the purpose of a ROPS cab? The correct answer is the purpose of ROPS is to provide protection in the eventuality of a rollover with the machine. Question 3. Give two reasons why the dump truck operator should have an understanding of the type of spoil being transported. 1. It can affect the way it is being transported, fluid or semi-fluid material. 2. It can overload the tires if the material is dense. 3. The load can stick to the body when tipping. 4. It may get spilled during transportation. 5. It may need to be tipped at a different location. The correct answers are all 5. 1. It can affect the way it is being transported, fluid or semi-fluid material. 2. It can overload the tires if the material is dense. 3. The load can stick to the body when tipping. 4. It may get spilled during transportation. 5. It may need to be tipped at a different location. Question 4. A. State the purpose of a retarder. B. The possible consequences of not using it when required. The correct answers are A. The retarder is a device that provides a partial braking effect on steep slopes. B. If it is not used, then normal brakes have to be used, which can cause to lose grip on steep slopes, leading to loss of control. Question 5. Whenever possible, who should decide the positioning of the dump truck for loading? The correct answer is the excavator or loading shovel operator. Question 6. When would the body safety strut or support be used? The correct answer is at all times when carrying any works under a raised skip. Question 7. The function or job role of a dump truck operator, when transporting loads, is to. The correct answer is transport the load in a safely and efficient way to and from locations. Question 8. Name 3 ways that a plant operator can contribute in ensuring repeat business with the client or principal contractor. The correct answers are 1. Compliance with the method statements. 2. Cooperation with the workforce. 3. Safe working practices. Question 9. Before leaving the cab for a rest break, after parking and switching off the machine, what final action must be carried out? The correct answer is machine must be isolated, windows closed, door closed, and locked. Question 10. Why should tailgates not be fitted when transporting bulky or rock-type material? The correct answer is the material could jam on tipping, causing possible instability. Question 11. Why should a dump truck be refueled at the end of the day? The correct answer is the machine should be refueled at the end of the day to prevent condensation building up in the tank as it's cooling down. Question 12. When traveling on wet clay, what effect does this have on the dump truck? The correct answer is the grip is reduced, which may cause loss of control. Question 13. Name 3 ways in which an operator can minimize their impact upon the environment whilst using the machine. 1. Switch off engine while the machine is not in use. 2. Check tires pressure. 3. Do not overfill while refueling, clean up any spillage. 4. Dispose any waste correctly. 5. Plan the work prior to start to maximize work efficiency. The correct answers are all 5. 1. Switch off engine while the machine is not in use. 2. Check tires pressure. 3. Do not overfill while refueling, clean up any spillage. 4. Dispose any waste correctly. 5. Plan the work prior to start to maximize work efficiency. Question 14. Give 2 examples of where the work at height regulations may apply to dump trucks. 1. Access egress to the cab. 2. Access egress to the engine compartment. 3. Access to the body. 4. Body maintenance. The correct answers are all 4. 1. Access egress to the cab. 2. Access egress to the engine compartment. 3. Access to the body. 4. Body maintenance. Question 15. Operators should lower the body fully before driving away. Give 2 possible consequences if this is not carried out. The correct answers are: 1. The machine could tip over sideways, especially on uneven ground and raised. 2. The raised body could hit overhead obstacles. Question 16. When working in a confined area or space, what danger can be present with an articulated dump truck with regards to steering? The correct answer is: the pivot arc may encroach intro obstructions. Question 17. When working in a confined area or space, name 3 hazards that can occur. 1. Fumes. 2. Noise. 3. Limited visibility. 4. Proximity hazards. 5. Excessive maneuvering. The correct answers are all 5. 1. Fumes. 2. Noise. 3. Limited visibility. 4. Proximity hazards. 5. Excessive maneuvering. Question 18. The rear axle units on most dump trucks pivot on the chassis. Explain the reason for pivoting axles. The correct answer is: allows the wheels to follow the terrain on uneven ground. Question 19. Many dump trucks have a turbocharged engine. 1. What is the normal procedure before switching off the engine after working? 2. What happens if the procedure is not followed? The correct answers are: 1. Leave the engine running for a couple of minutes before switching off. 2. Shortens the life of the turbo. Question 20. Who should determine the maximum load that should be placed into the body of the dump truck? The correct answer is: the dump truck operator. Question 21. The operator has to use a new type of dump truck that they are unfamiliar with. What do regulations, PUWER 98, and other guidance require the operator to have? The correct answer is: the operator is required to have the correct instruction, training, and up-to-date information on that particular machine. Question 22. If a load has to be tipped on a slope, what may happen if the load is tipped downhill and why? The correct answer is: weight transfer can cause the machine to tip rearwards due to the movement of the center of gravity. Question 23. What is regarded as the most productive position for the dump truck to be in, when being loaded by a wheeled loading shovel working from a stockpile? The correct answer is: the most productive way to load a dump truck is to position the dump truck at a 50 to 60 degrees to the heap and create a Y shape for the shovel. Question 24. 1. What determines the minimum distances that any part of plant and machinery has to be kept from overhead electricity lines? 2. Explain why a distance should be kept. The correct answers are, 1. The amount of voltage that runs through the electricity lines and the support used for the electricity lines, wooden poles or metal poles. 2. Because the electricity can arch or jump gaps. Question 25. What are the possible outcomes of facing prosecution for not complying with legislation and regulations? If facing prosecution at the court hearing, there are two possible outcomes. The correct answers are, 1. You can prove that you fulfilled the legal requirements and you are probably going to be found not guilty. 2. You are found guilty and you face a prison sentence or a substantial fine. Question 26. 1. Why should the body of the dump truck be raised slowly, carefully, especially with wet or sticky material? 2. What would be a consequence if this was not done? The correct answers are, 1. Material could jam. 2. Rear chassis, body, and possibly the cab, could tip sideways or rearwards. Question 27. What does the Health and Safety at Work Act require employers to do with regards specifically to plant? The correct answer is, the employer must ensure the plant is safe and maintained. Question 28. Using the operator's manual, state the cold starting procedure for the machine. Note, the operator's manual for the machine being used for the test must be available for reference by the candidate. The correct answer is, find the cold start procedure in the index, go to the page and read the paragraph that describes the cold start procedure. Page number must be read as well. Question 29. Where should the dump truck's operator's manual be kept and why? The correct answer is, the operator's manual should be kept inside the machine in a place where the operator has easy access. Question 30. What problems and hazards can soft ground cause to a loaded dump truck? 1. Slows the speed of the truck. 2. Makes it difficult to drive through. 3. The machine can sink and get stuck. 4. The machine can tip over sideways. The correct answers are all 4. 1. Slows the speed of the truck. 2. Makes it difficult to drive through. 3. The machine can sink and get stuck. 4. The machine can tip over sideways. Question 31. Using the operator's manual, state the figure for tires operating pressure. Note, the operator's manual for the machine being used for the test must be available for reference by the candidate. The correct answer is, the operator's manual will be provided by the test center, and you will have to look at the index and find the tires chapter, go there and read the figure for the tire pressure. The page number must be read as well. Question 32. State 2 requirements of using a stop block or earth bank, berm, at a trench discharging point. The correct answers are, 1. To indicate the stopping point, 2. To prevent the machine overrunning into the trench. Question 33. Apart from the operator, who else may need to use the machine's operator's manual? The correct answer is, maintenance staff, supervisors and transporter drivers. Question 34. What is a possible consequence of using a tire with a deep cut in the sidewall? The correct answer is, debris and sharp objects can enter in the cut, causing the tire to puncture. Question 35. What is the meaning of this hand signal, being demonstrated by the tester? The correct answer is, the tester will show you a hand signal which you will have to identify. Question 36. List 6 typical subject areas that should be covered in a site induction. 1. First aid. 2. Escape routes. 3. Lifting operations. 4. Working at heights. 5. Site layout and welfare facilities. 6. Working in confined spaces. 7. Method statements. The correct answers are all 7. 1. First aid. 2. Escape routes. 3. Lifting operations. 4. Working at heights. 5. Site layout and welfare facilities. 6. Working in confined spaces. 7. Method statements. Question 37. Why are plant operators generally regarded as safety-critical workers? The correct answer is, the plant operators are considered safety-critical workers because of the potential risk of an accident. They can cause harm to themselves or others if they do an unsafe act. Question 38. 1. What is the purpose of a method statement? 2. What is required of the operator? The correct answers are, 1. A method statement describes how the work will be done safely and efficiently. 2. The operator must be compliant with the method statement. Question 39. What is the purpose of a risk assessment? The correct answer is, the purpose of a risk assessment is to identify and place control measures on hazards. Question 40. Name 4 different types or levels of disciplinary actions or sanctions that can be applied, by employers and judicial bodies, to operators of plant who do not comply with, or follow legislation and regulations. 1. Verbal warnings. 2. Written warnings. 3. Loss of the job, dismissal. 4. Prosecution. 5. Fine. 6. Prison sentence. The correct answers are all 6. 1. Verbal warnings. 2. Written warnings. 3. Loss of the job, dismissal. 4. Prosecution. 5. Fine. 6. Prison sentence. Question 41. On articulated dump trucks, steering is achieved by actuating a hydraulic ram, or rams, which is controlled by turning the steering wheel. 1. How does the engine supply the oil flow? 2. What happens to the steering when the engine stops? The correct answers are, 1. The oil is supplied by the oil pump driven by the engine. 2. When the engine stops there is no steering. Question 42. Why must the seat belt be worn at all times, even with the cab door closed? The correct answer is, wearing the seat belt will keep the operator stable in the seat in the eventuality of a rollover. Question 43. If setting up to work in a pedestrianized area, state 3 factors that need to be taken into account. 1. Safe route for pedestrians with appropriate signage should be provided. 2. Make sure there is enough room for materials and machine movements. 3. Noise, dust, and fumes should be kept to a minimum. 4. Method statement and risk assessments are in place. The correct answers are all 4. 1. Safe route for pedestrians with appropriate signage should be provided. 2. Make sure there is enough room for materials and machine movements. 3. Noise, dust, and fumes should be kept to a minimum. 4. Method statement and risk assessments are in place. Question 44. 1. Name 3 purposes of the raised lugs on tires. 2. What can happen to a dump truck if the lugs are severely worn? The correct answers are, 1. A. Providing help when braking. B. Providing adherence on soft ground. C. Assisting when steering. 2. Worn or bald tires can cause skidding or sliding, making steering more difficult and the tire more vulnerable to punctures. Question 45. When parking the machine at the end of the shift, name 3 places where the dump truck should not be parked. 1. Do not park in front of entrances or exits. 2. Do not park on soft ground. 3. Do not park on pedestrian routes. 4. Do not park on slopes. 5. Do not park close to trenches or stockpiles. The correct answers are all 5. 1. Do not park in front of entrances or exits. 2. Do not park on soft ground. 3. Do not park on pedestrian routes. 4. Do not park on slopes. 5. Do not park close to trenches or stockpiles. Question 46. How can a qualification or card benefit a plant operator? The correct answer is, the operator can prove his skills, have better prospects of employment and promotion. Question 47. In what situation does a hard hat not need to be worn when operating a dump truck? The correct answer is, when the operator is in an enclosed structure that meets the FOPS regulations. Question 48. During work, the engine starts to overheat. Explain the danger if someone tries to remove the radiator or expansion tank cap. The correct answer is, removing the radiator tank cap will cause the hot liquid inside to be released under pressure and could cause burns. Question 49. If checking the oil level using a dipstick, why must gloves be worn? The correct answer is, gloves must be worn to avoid oil contact with the skin, which can cause skin problems. Question 50. What is the definition of, or how can a hazard be described? The correct answer is, a hazard is anything that can cause harm to people, property, or environment. Question 51. If the operator has to top up the hydraulic oil, state 2 precautions to ensure cleanliness of the system. The correct answer is, 1. Clean the filler cap and the area surrounding before. 2. Use only clean transfer equipment. Question 52. The operator is asked to tip material into a new trench. State 5 different requirements that must be considered or implemented before tipping commences. 1. Trench edge collapse, shoring requirements. 2. Check for surrounding hazards. 3. Authorization to tip, permit to work. 4. Check if all personnel have cleared the trench. 5. Check access, egress routes. 6. Check the ground support. 7. Consider using a physical stop to prevent reversing into the trench. The correct answers are all 7. 1. Trench edge collapse, shoring requirements. 2. Check for surrounding hazards. 3. Authorization to tip, permit to work. 4. Check if all personnel have cleared the trench. 5. Check access, egress routes. 6. Check the ground support. 7. Consider using a physical stop to prevent reversing into the trench. Question 53. What 3 main duties of the Health and Safety at Work Act must employees follow? The correct answer is 1. Protect themselves and other who may be affected by their acts or omissions. 2. Cooperate with the employer. 3. Avoid interference, intentionally or recklessly, with anything provided for safety. Question 54. State the purpose of a heated body. The correct answer is, the purpose is to keep the materials warm, to stop frozen soil sticking to the body or keep asphalt warm. Question 55. If the operator has loaded the machine onto a transporter or trailer on behalf of a driver, state 3 actions that must be carried out before they leave the machine. The correct answer is 1. The machine and components are in the agreed position. 2. Chassis centralized, engage articulation bar. 3. Skip lowered and pressure removed. Question 56. 1. What is the minimum distance allowed near open trenches when traveling with a dump truck? 2. Explain why. The correct answers are 1. Greater than the trench depth. 2. Getting too close to a trench can cause it to collapse. Question 57. The operator has been asked to drive the machine onto a transporter or trailer. 1. Who is responsible for the loading operations? 2. State 4 actions to be considered by the operator before loading commences. The correct answers are 1. The transporter driver is responsible for the loading operation. 2. A level area with sufficient room to maneuver should be selected. B. Check for overhead obstructions. C. The machine should be clean. D. The transporter should be suitable and in good condition. E. The ramps should be adjusted to fit the machine. F. The operator's manual should be consulted to find the loading procedure. G. The area should be clear of people and other plant. Question 58. If the machine is being traveled or working on the public highway, the Road Traffic Act applies. 1. What type of license and which class should the operator hold? 2. What is the minimum age allowed? The correct answers are, 1. Full UK Category B driving license. 2. A minimum 21 years old for machines over 7.5 tons. B. Minimum 18 years old for machines less than 7.5 tons. Question 59. Give 3 possible reasons why dump trucks should not stray off the designated haul routes. 1. Can damage underground services. 2. Can ruin ground prepared for works. 3. Can get stuck because of soft ground. 4. May stray into routes designated for other plant. 5. May increase journey times between loading and discharge points. The correct answers are all 5. 1. Can damage underground services. 2. Can ruin ground prepared for works. 3. Can get stuck because of soft ground. 4. May stray into routes designated for other plant. 5. May increase journey times between loading and discharge points. Question 60. On startup, the air pressure on the machine is low. What actions must the operator carry out before work and during work? The correct answer is, ensure the air pressure is full before work and check pressure constantly during the work. Question 61. A dump truck is classified by a manufacturer as a 30-ton machine. What does this mean? The correct answer is, this is the maximum carrying capacity of the dump truck. Question 62. When tipping a load, the center of gravity of the machine changes. 1. How does this affect the dump truck? 2. State 2 actions to avoid accidents. The correct answers are, 1. Weight is transferred both further to the rear and higher. 2. Tip slowly and on level ground, where possible. Question 63. An operator has been asked to transport materials from one side to another using the public highway, for which the Road Traffic Act applies. What effect can this have on this activity? The correct answer is, the operation becomes a carriage of goods operation for which the dump truck becomes LGV and it has to have appropriate taxing, registration and licensing apart from all the other things that need to be in place so the machine is road legal, mirrors, lights, clean tires, brakes. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support this channel. Thank you for watching and good luck for your test.